Hey, Bublynn, coming in, crushing this art. So when we're talking about like Christians, right? We obviously know there's kind of like this weird fake Christian thing, and then there's this weird lost Christian thing, and then I feel like there's own understanding of Christianity in the Bible where like people kind of find it on their own, right? And they're like, so, but either way, when we go back to the lost Christian thing, I feel like it's so easy for people when they pray to always pray when they need something, right? And then to be like asking God for something, you know? Yeah, they're like, Jesus, please save my family, you know? Is the energy they're in, right? Whereas someone who's truly faithful and truly understands how to pray, they will not be begging. Like, they will be almost telling, but more of like a humble asking. But in their mind, where they will be is in a place where Jesus is protecting their family. Like, no matter what happens, that's what they will set aside that prayer time for. Yeah. They will not go to pray and then continue the real world situations of begging and needing help. They will utilize the prayer time in order to truly envision and connect with Jesus saving, being a protection around the family, like, you know, holding the family up, like making sure that your family is going into the best possible times, right? And yeah, but basically, yeah, those are just two different ways to pray. And basically, I think that one puts you in a right energetic state, and one has an understanding over, I feel like, the Bible and truth, whereas the other, when you're just begging, like, it puts you in a negative state where you end up furthering the mind space and the mindset, which will lead to more actions, events, and circumstances that will continue the need for you to beg, right? Yeah, so I just think that's interesting. It's just that, yeah, just the two different types of prayer, how, like, they're both, in a way, driven by this insecurity or this want for safety, right? Whereas one understands that basically, like, the universe and God can only help you if you allow yourself to be open to it, right? So that person's creating that safe space in order for anything good that, like, could possibly happen, you know? And it's even like a true believer would understand too, like, that each person has their time when they have their time, right? So they would even know, like, in whatever happens, that was, like, because of their faith and their prayer work, no matter what happens, that was Jesus calling, you know? Like, even if there is, like, a disaster of some sort, you know what I mean? Like, that was the way, you know, like, in a way, you know? So I just think that that's interesting either way, is we can really drive ourselves into negative thoughts and, like, really have a negative relationship with the universe as a whole, right? Or, like, the creator, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, with maybe just our mind space, you know, when we're just, like, talking out, you know? Like, we can really develop a negative, like, begging, like, needing relationship, whereas when prayer really becomes really becomes powerful, even what I've heard true like biblical Christian people say is that when they're praying, they are supposed to be in a space of protection. They're supposed to be in a space of connecting with Jesus. They're not supposed to be begging Jesus. They're not supposed to be amplifying the state where they've already lost him and find themselves so far into the world that they can no longer find him, you know? So but anyway, it's just a little food for thought. Make sure that when you're meditating or you're praying, that you're doing it in a way that is like in the state that you need to see, because basically, like, you can only start creating and manifesting and participating in things that are akin with your mental state and, like, where you're coming from. So until you shift where you're coming from, nothing else will shift, right? And so that's why meditation, prayer, and thought work is very important, because it really is the beginning to setting up our entire world. So be careful, right? Be careful how you're praying. Be careful with how you utilize your mind, right? So, Bublynn, Sitra, Beach, out.